each year on this channel, we try and take a look at the various free agents and possible trade candidates that the Yankees have, and I make a prediction on 5 Yankees that will not return the following season. This year, we've got some very interesting choices. Here are the top 5 Yankees that, in my opinion, will not be back next season. Let's begin with number 5, Tommy Kahnle. Tommy has been really good for the Yankees. He had a 2.11 ERA this year in 42 2/3 innings pitched. But there's a few reasons I don't think he'll be back. Number 1, he's 35 years old, which is getting up there for a relief pitcher. He also doesn't really use his fastball much anymore. It's only a matter of time before his changeup becomes less effective. A changeup is made more effective when it's got a change of speeds from a pretty good fastball. But his fastball velocity has continually dropped and lost effectiveness. So he's had to over-rely on the changeup. Sometimes he doesn't even throw a fastball for an entire outing, and the league is beginning to catch on. Besides, the Yankees are awesome at turning other teams' cast-offs into really good relief pitchers. Look at guys like Jake Cousins, who came out of nowhere. Michael Tonkin did a good job this year before he got DFA'd. Hell, Clay Holmes was a guy who stunk with the Pirates, and the Yankees turned him into their closer for the first half of the season, and he was an all-star. So the Yankees will find another relief pitcher out there, and I don't think it's going to cost as much as Tommy Kahnle would cost for a new contract, and I think they'll be more effective because they'll be younger.
The luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Number 4 is first baseman Anthony Rizzo. The Yankees hold a $17 million player option, and they're simply not going to exercise it because he's not worth that kind of money at this point in his career. This year, he only belted 8 home runs. He's been a shadow of himself in recent years because of a myriad of injuries, and he's not really the contact hitter that the Yankees envisioned anymore. He's hit just .234 since the trade, and he hit just .228 this season. He has, though, shown some great leadership ability, and I think it would be amazing to see him come back as a coach should he pursue that. But the Yankees just simply will not get a good return on their investment if they choose to pick up that $17 million option, and they're not going to. Next season, I think we could see an open competition at first base. You got Ben Rice coming back. He struggled a little bit after his initial success with the Yankees, but he's got some real potential. You got Oswaldo Cabrera, did a very nice job when he got some playing time over there during the playoffs. You got John Birdie. He played his first games ever at first base during the playoffs, but he stung the ball pretty good, and he played some good defense. So there's a lot of options. You've also got DJ LeMahieu coming back, although I think his days as a starter are over. But I think they need a good left-handed bat. My money is on Ben Rice taking that position next year out of spring training.
The most famous baseball player of all time, Babe Ruth.
Number 3 is Alex Verdugo, who the Yankees got from the Boston Red Sox last offseason. And he played a pretty good left field. He just didn't hit. He hit just .233 for the season. He set an American League record for ground outs to the right side. And he's almost certainly going to want a multi-year deal. And I don't think the performance has done enough to warrant that at all. There's been a lot of talk about Spencer Jones, one of the Yankees' top prospects, possibly taking over in the outfield next year, but he didn't even get out of Double-A this year, and he struck out at an incredible rate. So I really don't think that he's ready to step in on opening day, which means the Yankees are still going to need an outfielder, considering that they have a couple of free agents in their outfield. There's Michael Conforto. He's available. He hit .237 this year, though, 20 home runs. You got Teoscar Hernandez with the Dodgers, but he's probably going back to L.A. The Dodgers fans love him, and he did a great job there, obviously very comfortable. So I really don't know what the Yankees' outfield is going to look like next year, but I can't see them paying to bring back Alex Verdugo. I just don't see it happening. Maybe Oswaldo Cabrera transitions back out into left field. He was the opening day left fielder in 2023, although this year he played mostly infield, but I just don't see them bringing back Alex Verdugo. Number 2 on the list is the number 1 leading cause for heart attacks among Yankees fans this year, and that is Clay Holmes. Now, I got to give credit where credit is due. Clay Holmes had some terrific and some gutsy performances in the postseason. He started using his sinker a little bit more, but his lack of swing and miss ability is going to continue to be a concern, especially when you consider that over the next several years, his velocity is likely to drop, which will make that hard sinker even less effective. Plus, I mentioned that the Yankees are great at turning guys that are cast-offs from other teams into stud relievers with the Yankees, like they did with Clay's replacement at closer, Luke Weaver. When you factor in that it's going to cost several $1 million to re-sign Clay Holmes for a middle relief role, I don't think the Yankees are going to do it. I think they're going to let him walk, and I think they're going to try and develop some of those never heard of them type of guys into stud relievers like they've been so effective at doing with Jake Cousins and Luke Weaver and all those guys. So Clay Holmes, despite his resurgence in October, will not be back with the Yankees.
If you don't like it, you're fired.
You haven't hired me yet.
All right, for my number one spot on the list, I had two potential names. So I kind of wanted to walk you through my decision process and some of the conversations that I've had and tell you why I think what I think. There are two names on this list. One is Juan Soto, and two is Gleyber Torres. So we're going to take a look first at Juan Soto, who had an unbelievable season, 41 home runs, the perfect guy to hit in front of Aaron Judge, plays every day, always wants to be in the lineup, very, very clutch. And look, the guy can just flat out hit. And left-handers who can just flat out hit generally have pretty good careers when they play in Yankee Stadium, and nobody in the game can protect him like Aaron Judge can. I recently had a conversation with Buster Olney, Yankees insider, ESPN Major League Baseball insider, and he had this to say about the Juan Soto situation.
As we sit here, we don't know really what's in Soto's heart. Does he really want to stay with the Yankees, all things being equal? Or like a lot of players, and by the way, this is totally their prerogative, some players equate money for respect. Is Soto looking to get a record number of dollars from one of these teams? And I do think in the end, the Yankees are going to be outbid by somebody. I can't see how going to nutty numbers. And we don't know if Steve Cohen is going to do like he does with some of his art and just blow the competition out of the water and say, and I'm just making up the numbers. Let's say the Yankees offered $500 million. Is Steve Cohen going to say, you know what? I want the player. If it's going to cost me $600 million, I'll do it. What's Soto's reaction going to be at that point? You know, if I'm sitting here and guessing, knowing the history of Scott Boras clients, I think the safe money at this point, not the safe money, but I think probably the betting line for me would be he's going to wind up with the Mets.
And then there's the fact that Juan Soto seems to really enjoy playing in Yankee Stadium and enjoy playing with Aaron Judge. He did the Soto Shuffle song. He really likes being a Yankee. I spoke to another guy who's played for both the Yankees and the Mets, Delwin Betances, and this is what he had to say.
Well, the Yankees have the leg up, right? They had this whole year for him to see how it is to play in a Yankee Stadium. And, you know, probably one of the best places to play in for me. Like when you play with the Yankees, you're expected to win every year, right? Like they're trying to build the best roster they can. Whether or not you win or not, they're trying to put the best product out there. And Soto's feeling the energy all year, had a tremendous year. So Yankees have a leg up there. Obviously, the money at the end of the day is what's going to take to kind of, you know, put the final touches to that. And, you know, I feel like he'll stay with the Yankees, to be honest with you.
All right, so let's talk about the other guy that was vying for the top spot on my list, and that is Gleyber Torres. He's been with the Yankees since he got traded from the Cubs during the 2016 season, made his debut in 2018, had a fabulous 2019, but his career has kind of fallen off. It looked like he was going to be on a Hall of Fame track, but the offensive numbers have fallen off. The defense has really fallen off. He had 18 errors this year. He's had multiple instances where he wasn't hustling, and at one point he had to be benched because of it in the middle of the game. But afterwards, he moved to the leadoff spot, and he started playing a lot better. He started hitting a lot better, and he's one of the guys that hit in the postseason. So it's a tough decision. I don't think that the Yankees have the payroll flexibility to sign both of these guys. I think if you sign Juan Soto, especially if you have to pay $500, $600 million, it really limits the other things that you're trying to do. But Juan Soto is a known quantity. He's a generational talent. He loves playing with the Yankees. He proved that he's clutch. And fans love him, teammates love him, and he will make the Yankees enough money to cover that contract over the next however many years it is. So at the end of the day, I do think Juan Soto will re-sign with the Yankees, but I don't think that Gleyber Torres is coming back. So you're number one on the list, Yankee that will not be back next year, Gleyber Torres. Now, there are some honorable mentions. Jonathan Loaisiga missed the entire season with elbow surgery. There's a chance that the Yankees might not sign him, but I do think that they will try to bring him back because he's got such a lightning arm when he's healthy. Problem is, he's struggled with injuries. He won't be super expensive. I could see them bringing back Jonathan Loaisiga. Lou Trevino didn't pitch at all this year. I think he's pretty much gone too. Nick Birdie, also a free agent, unrestricted. I don't think he'll be back. But most importantly, I think the Yankees will re-sign Juan Soto. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and give us a subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. We're also on all your favorite podcast platforms and social media. Join the community, have some fun. We're here after every game. This is Pinstripe Territory.